wonderful evening to each and every one of you. My name is Roderick Brereton. I am the membership chair here at the Black Business and Professional Association. We just wanted to say welcome to the launch of the Business Advisory Implementation Development Service. And a beautiful evening to each and every one of you from right across the country, from Halifax to Vancouver and everywhere in between. We say welcome. So we've got an amazing evening for you this evening. We've got an amazing event for you all. And just a couple of housekeeping rules. But before we get into the housekeeping, I just wanted to introduce my co-host, Tika Pinock. Good evening, Tika. How are you this evening?
Good evening, Roderick. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
That's good. I'm so used to seeing you on a Saturday. It feels like it's almost the end of the week. But of course, Bbpa doing wonderful things and launching new programs. So I'm delighted to be here during the week with you as well.
Absolutely. It's always great to see you, and always great to see all of our stakeholders and partners here with us also. So just a couple quick housekeeping rules, because this is obviously some important news. We ask that if you're not speaking, that you put yourselves on mute. I believe that might have already been done by our tech person, but if you do have something to say and there is that time allotted to speak, please put up your virtual hand and the tech person will definitely get to you. Tika, anything else that you wanted to share in that regard for housekeeping?
Yes. Two things to note. This video is being recorded, so for privacy issues, if you wish, you may turn your cameras off or change the name that appears in the video. And also note that our behind the scenes tech folks are also monitoring the chat. So you can ask questions either by raising your hand as per Roderick's note, or you can post it in the chat and we will certainly get to it. So welcome again. Thank you.
All right. So on that note, welcome to the launch of the Black Advisory Implementation Development Services. On behalf of the Bbpa, again, we are elated that you're here spending your evening with us. And this is a historic day for the Bbpa and Black businesses across the country. The BAIDS program is a major step forward. We laud the Bbpa and also all of the partners who have made this possible in terms of taking the lead in creating this program to enable success for small businesses across the country.
Yes.
We're here to support the Bbpa, obviously, and Black entrepreneurs. And this step forward, we're going to be giving the Black businesses and entrepreneurs a little bit more than they even bargained for. So it's very exciting. I'm very excited to see what's going on with the Bbpa and in this regard. So the Bbpa is one of the 5 founders of FACE. And we'll get more involved in terms of explaining what exactly FACE is for those who don't know. But FACE is a coalition of Black businesses and community leaders working together to eliminate systemic barriers for our Black businesses across the country. So these barriers, as we know, prevent Black entrepreneurs and businesses from accessing capital and financial support at the same rate as their counterparts. So FACE is here to help eradicate those barriers and at best definitely mitigate what has happened in the past and create a new narrative for Black businesses and entrepreneurs moving forward.
Certainly.
So next week, we'll be participating in the government's announcement of the Black Entrepreneurs Loan Fund. And again, we're anticipating this is another set of big news coming to Black Canada within this short time frame. So stay tuned. And just to let you know that FACE will play a major role in the program's success in terms of that Black Entrepreneurs Loans Fund. And we've greatly appreciated not just the Bbpa, but all of the partners in terms of making that FACE organization what it is and to be an integral part of the Canadian tapestry. Tika?
Yes, Roderick, and it's very exciting news. You know, we at the Bbpa and FACE understand that the solutions to our community's challenges must come from us, Black leaders. We're using our collective gifts to play a role in Black people's economic emancipation and success. Together, we are advocating for our community to work with decision makers and policymakers to create change and to amplify the contributions Black people make every day to Canadian society. BAIDS, which is part of the BBPA's post-COVID-19 strategy, outlines a recovery plan for Black businesses and professionals. Along with FACE, we are certain that the impact of these two programs working together will be a game changer for the Black business community across Canada. It will cater to small and medium scale businesses, single owned or partnerships, family owned or franchises. All Black businesses with the zeal to scale up and thrive will have access to BAIDS and its resources. And so we are so pleased to be sharing this news with you today and to be launching this very important program. Now let me introduce City of Peterborough Councillor Stephen Wright. Councillor Stephen Wright is Vice Chair of the Peterborough Economic Development. He's been one of the strongest advocates of Black business development in the Durham region. Deeply involved in the area's economic development, he has made sure that Black entrepreneurs are considered in the mix of government support and incentives. Please help me welcome City Councillor Stephen Wright.
Welcome, Stephen. And next, I would like to introduce somebody who is no stranger to us all. If there's something going on in the Black business world of Canada,
so just a moment, Roderick. Councillor hasn't gone yet because he was on mute. So, Councillor, I think you're not on mute now, so you can go ahead.
It almost sounds like I'm in a council meeting where we're constantly reminding something that, they gave a wonderful presentation, great speech, but none of us heard it. I'd like to thank you, the members of the BBPA and the leadership of the BBPA, Roderick and Tia. Thank you. I am pleased to be with you tonight at your inaugural launch of BAIDS. As a Peterborough City Councillor and Vice Chair of Economic Development, I like to think that we provide locally some of the activities you are now introducing nationally. In Peterborough and the Kawarthas, we provide a wide range of services to encourage economic activity in our region, regardless of the size of the business, because we have that openness. We are assisting on local level Black businesses, just as BAIDS will help Black businesses across Canada. And I also want to point out that the City of Peterborough on December 10th, 2019, signed on to the Coalition of Municipalities Against Discrimination to Fight Racism. And as a result, has taken a tremendous degree of initiatives in how we look at policy and how it affects particularly the business community. So the programs and initiatives offered by BAIDS are add-ons to programs that we already offer at the City of Peterborough, so which is a bonus for Black-owned businesses. So BAIDS is something I can support wholeheartedly, as it addresses the most important barriers to Black success, including racial issues, lack of access to capital, and information and networks. Just to mention a few. Most Black businesses are not large, and so it's very important that BAIDS is targeted to business owners and entrepreneurs, as well as small and medium scale businesses. What I've seen in my economic development posts is that most Black businesses possess the zeal to scale up and thrive, but often don't understand the tools that are needed. BAIDS will change that. That means the businesses will receive these services without cost, something very important to entrepreneurs. And even better, the program will be delivered by Black entrepreneurs and professionals. Again, thank you for the opportunity tonight.
and thank you very much, Councillor Wright. We appreciate that. And thank you for all the work that you're doing up there in Peterborough. So as I was about to skip forward, I guess I was excited because I know this person from a definite years of working with them. And it's easy to say through sun, sleet, and snow, no matter what the weather, no matter what the obstacles, that our fearless leader of the BBPA, Miss Nadine Spencer, will be there. So if there's something happening in Black Canada where it's regarding business, you can count on that Nadine Spencer will be there, and she'll have a hand in terms of making sure that it's not just standing still, but it moves forward. So somehow, those of us who work with Nadine wonder how she can do so many things at once. And I'm quite sure that she's got a twin or maybe a duplicate somewhere out there, because it's just amazing the amount of work that this woman is doing for our community and championing our community at every opportunity that she gets. Nadine is truly a giant in our community. She's a leader whose dedication is apparent to all of those who work with her. And she's got a vision like no other in terms of putting the resources of the BBPA to work, also to aid the Black business community and the community in general, which obviously, as we all know, is subjected to the pandemic, which has had a pretty adverse impact on our community. But Nadine's enthusiasm and her optimism definitely is the shining gleam of not just hope, but as inspiration that can definitely serve us all. So it is with my great pride and joy to now introduce the president of the Black Business Professional Association, Miss Nadine Spencer.
Thank you so very much, Roderick. What an amazing introduction. I'm going to play that again and again and again.
All right.
So as many of you know, I am an entrepreneur myself. I'm a business owner. And when I think through the journey of my own business and how I've ascended, and I've had challenges and how I overcame those challenges, I thought about resources. And one of the reasons really why I sit in the seat as president of the BBPA is because I know what the entrepreneur's journey is. And we at the BBPA, we know what the entrepreneur's journey is. A lot of things that I know about entrepreneurs, and I know from my mother. Everybody knows my story. I became an entrepreneur from the age of 12. And I remember the first moment when the 2 50-cent coins landed in my hand, and I knew what it was to define my journey and enable a financial future for myself through entrepreneurship. It really changed how I saw life and how I saw things in general. So we champion entrepreneurship. And when COVID happened, the BBPA did a study. We did a study of Black entrepreneurs and what their experience was. And we recognized a huge gap that Black entrepreneurs were facing. And what's the solution to that? The BBPA recognized that we had to find a solution to fill that gap. And we did. And I'm so very proud and excited to be tonight launching the Business Advisory Implementation Development Service. Our treasurer will tell you his original name, but as a marketer, we had to refine it a little bit, and here we are. So I'm here to say, you know, more than ever, we need to support Black businesses, and let's support Black businesses. As you know, COVID-19 has had a devastating impact on the viability of Black businesses, and this is why we're launching BAIDS. It's a new program designed specifically for Black entrepreneurs across the country by Black entrepreneurs who are service experts, and you'll hear more about the program. It is a hands-on program designed to specifically support you, support all of us. And we would like all Black entrepreneurs to know that the BBPA is here. We're here for you. You know, when I was growing up, my mother always said, Nadine, people matter. You have to think about the people you serve in whatever capacity you are serving. And we thought about every entrepreneur, and you know, our motto has been, no one will get left behind. No one will get left behind. And this is why we have the program. And you know, one of the, as you know, I lead the BBPA's Boss Women Entrepreneurship Training Program. 150 women gather every Tuesday night for the program. And some of the things we talk about is people do business with who they know. And I'm so thankful to our partners. You know, RBC, Harriet Thornhill is here tonight. You have been a dynamic champion, just a true advocate for Black businesses. And I thank RBC for your very kind and generous support When we called and we said, this is the gap we recognize that's needed in our Black community, RBC said yes. They said yes immediately, and here we are. I thank HSBC, I thank Wawanesa Insurance, I thank the Donald Reed Estate, and we look forward to building more partnerships, more relationships. We say currency comes in different kinds, and we will be looking to different partnerships to build that currency. So I thank you all for being here. I thank you to all the partners, Tiffany, Louette, Gaff, and Face. I thank you to everyone who's joined us this evening. And we look forward to continued growth, continued partnership as we really, really look to build a strong future for people that look like us across the country. So thank you very much. Merci.
Thank you so very much, Nadine. Thank you. And you know, Rod, you had the pleasure of introducing Nadine, but I just want to add that in addition to being, you know, a successful entrepreneur and a visionary for the BBPA, Nadine has been such a mentor to a lot of young Black women and Black women entrepreneurs. And so kudos and credit to Nadine for all the work that she is doing and has been doing over the last little while in support of our community. It gives me great pleasure to now introduce the treasurer of the Black Business and Professional Association, Mr. Michael Pinock, who really is keeping the organization going with his outstanding financial acumen. A native of Jamaica, Michael immigrated to Canada in 2002 and spent the initial 10 years with York Region in its corporate finance department, where as a senior budget advisor, he played a pivotal role in supporting a number of initiatives as subject matter expert. As a chartered professional accountant and a principal of his own firm, he is licensed to practice public accounting in Canada, the USA, and Jamaica. A firm believer in giving back and a consummate volunteer, Michael's hobby is to support charities and not-for-profits by pro bono financial statement audits and financial advice. The BBPA is eternally grateful to have Michael on board, and he will tell you today how BAIDS will work and when the clients will be able to start participating in the program. So please help me welcome Michael Pinock.
Thank you, Tika Pinock. It's I listened to the bio, and the part that I like the most is the fact that I really do love to give back, to just give back but specifically to give back to the Black community. And as the president mentioned earlier, the original name had to be market, hence we have BAIDS. And as I think about my presentation, I'm trying to make some time for the face, the beautiful face of face. And so I'm gonna probably just truncate my presentation a little to allow the face folks to come in. The counselor mentioned, what the essence of face. And I'd just like to say before that thanks for all the folks who have taken the time to be here right now. We've got 100 folks on the chat right now, and it's 6:30 at night on a Thursday. I'm certain there are other places you could be, there are other things you could be, where you choose to be here. And it's always important for that. The concept for BAIDS is for us to help each other. We've been sort of used to the grants and so on. And when the grants run out, then a lot of stuff don't happen after that. So the concept of BAIDS is not to give you a grant, but to assess with you, what are your needs? Wherever you are, we'll meet you there and we assess your needs and we agree on providing the resources to satisfy those needs. And we will stick with you for at least 3 years until they become profitable and self-supporting. So this is probably a little different from what they have in Peterborough, I'm not certain. But one of the new things we bring to the table is that we're not cutting a check and you just go do what you want. We're gonna sit with you and we're gonna wrap you around the best experts we have. And we've got 30 of those experts already making themselves available for this BAIDS program. 30 Black professionals, accountants, graphic designers, grant writers, you name it. 30 of those folks 90% right now is in Ontario, and we've got a couple in Quebec and a couple in Edmonton. But we're going to expand, but we're starting with what we have now. We're going to deliver everything that we need, everything that you think you need, we will do. But I just want to raise a special one tonight. We've just created, just like right now, a program that we have dubbed Faceability Orientation Program. And that program is designed to make our Black applicants, the small, mid-sized, micro businesses, prepared so that when they go to FACE to make that application, it's a 100% guarantee that they will qualify for the loan. And equally, if not more, that there's a 100% guarantee that they will repay the loan, because that is the flip side. We don't want to get the loan and a couple years down the road it's default and we all look bad. We're going to get the loan, we're going to work with the loan, we're going to repay the loan so it becomes pool money to go forward. Okay? The basic mechanics is there'll be three parties: the Bbpa as a sponsor, the businesses that need the support, and the program providers that will provide the support. We'll have what is called, we do a needs assessment, and if you look at the application questionnaire, there are 48 questions there that covers the management, the marketing, the operations, and the finance. And we have got some folks called assessors. We haven't picked them up yet because these are like the, the internal guys that we don't want a lot of folks to know quite early. They're the guys who are going to do the heavy lifting for us first. They're going to take those 48 questions and narrow it down into a 2-page report that is presented to the board of the Bbpa with recommendations. They'll work together with the applicants and they'll come down to this is what they need and this is how we're going to deliver it. They will then recommend that to the board will go through it as well. And the final recommendation, yes, we'll go. And then we'll have what is called a service agreement, service performance agreement, and the three parties would sign on and they go off and they do what they do. We're actually going to have a project manager with actual project management credentials that will follow that project. We're not going to let it go. We're going to follow it from start to end to ensure that it's a success. And also 3 years going out, we're going to follow the program. I want to end on just 2 notes, just for the benefit of my Facebook, just sustainability. We get our initial funding from the RBC, one of our first players and very good players. And we can't say enough about the RBC coming on board and helping us. And then we got funding from the HSBC and then from our insurance broker, Wanamesia. But those sums of money is what we're using to run the pilot that we have going now. And we hope to get some funding from the federal government as well. But as we think about the funding, we think about how do we sustain it? Not just start it and see it running, but how do you move from a sprint to a marathon? And so the 3 years of sustainability we're looking at is what we call pay it forward. So the organizations, the businesses that come to us and is supported in 3 or so years' time, when they are profitable and self-supporting, we will encourage them to make donations back to us and to be a benefactor down the road. So the funds come back and is available for others. The second pillar we're going to work with is the existing corporations and corporate bodies and individuals that are helping us right now. We will continue to go to them and to try to attract more with the success of the program. And there's a second level of sustainability. And finally, we'll always look at the government, the various layers of government. We do our own fundraising, we have our own bequests, and that sort of stuff. So these are the 3 pillars on which we're going to do the sustainability. And finally, what is the current status as we meet here tonight? There are 43 businesses that have already applied for our BAIDS support. One of them we have taken from cradle to grave and very successful in working with that company. And they're now looking at profitability. They're already talking about scaling up from, it's a trucking company. They're thinking about moving from one truck to a couple more trucks to get them going. They're already seeing that light in the tunnel. So the 43 clients apply in 23 categories. And I'll just quickly give you the top 7. Marketing and digitization, business and financial planning, accounting, bookkeeping and audits, taxation and annual filing, loans application, insurance, IT technology, and we group the rest. The major component of the rest is legal, operations, and staffing. So we are well on our way as we speak tonight. And first thing tomorrow, well, not tomorrow, we're gonna have one session with all the stakeholders to start to orient them into what we're trying to do. But this is new for us, folks may think we've done it before, but we're really not done it before. We have done stuff that looks similar, but this one is really for Blacks, by Blacks, and its success or failure is in our hands, but we know we will not fail. So thanks for listening, and I'll take questions later, but I will transition into the beautiful face of face. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michael. And I anticipate that there will be lots of questions for you after. Oh, there I am. So if there are questions for Michael, please post them in the chat and we will get to them a little bit later in our program. But now joining us to bring remarks are the faces of FACE. We have Tiffany Calendar, who is the CEO of FACE, community developer and social entrepreneur. Tiffany Calendar has spent her entire career developing and implementing programs to support Montreal's Black community. Tiffany is the inaugural CEO of the Federation of African Canadian Economics. FACE, a coalition of Canadian Black business support organizations, works with the federal government to oversee and implement the $221 million Black-owned entrepreneurship loan fund. We also have with us Louis-Edgar Jean-François, chairman of FACE, a member of the Quebec CPA order. Mr. Jean-François is the CEO of Group 3737, a synergic ecosystem focused on creating economic growth and social impact through diversity, inclusion, and Black communities. In the short term, he helps entrepreneurs deal with the current pandemic situation through direct support and by working with certain partners to develop a direct and significant financing offer for entrepreneurs from Black communities in Canada. He was very instrumental in securing a $221 million investment by the federal government and banks for that specific purpose. So please do help us welcome the CEO and chairman of FACE. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for having us this evening. Thank you to the Bbpa and all of the partners that are involved in this inaugural and wonderful evening of kicking off BAIDS. So first, let me start with saying that the Federation of African Canadian Economics is ecstatic and elated to have as one of its founding member organizations, the Bbpa, and the strength and vision and guidance of your president, Nadine Spencer. The Federation of African Canadian Economics, or better well known as FACE, really, as its mission, has to drive generational wealth powered by sustainable economic resources, capacity, and strategic partnerships. And I would be remiss as somebody coming to you live from Montreal to not ensure that we share this message in French, because that is truly at the DNA of the Federation of African Canadian Economics. We believe in supporting all Black communities across this country, and no matter the country of origin or the language that they speak. So with that, I introduce and welcome my chairman, Mr. Louis-Edgar Jean-François.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. Merci beaucoup, Tiffany. C'est vraiment un plaisir de pouvoir vous parler aujourd'hui. Je tiens à vous saluer tous. Effectivement, un jeudi soir, d'être présent, d'avoir tous ces gens-là autour de la table, c'est vraiment extraordinaire de vous voir. Je tiens également à féliciter le BBPA, qui est une organisation, j'ai appris à connaître cette organisation, à travailler main dans la main pour justement sécuriser le plus de ressources possibles pour les communautés noires. Donc, je suis vraiment très heureux de pouvoir travailler avec vous. Très heureux également de pouvoir travailler avec notre PDG, our CEO, Tiffany Calendar. Ça a été toute une aventure, beaucoup de travail. Puis quand on dit que le travail dur rapporte toujours, bien là, c'est une preuve qu'effectivement, ça rapporte toujours. C'est extraordinaire de pouvoir contribuer de façon collective à la richesse des communautés noires. On parle d'avoir un impact économique, on parle également d'avoir un impact social, et c'est ce que nous recherchons à faire présentement en travaillant de façon très synergique. Le programme de BBPA, BAIDS Programme, est vraiment un programme qui est au centre de la stratégie de la coalition FACE. FACE est centré sur la création de ressources, mais créer les ressources, c'est une chose, mais il faut également essayer de créer un levier avec ces ressources-là. Puis la meilleure façon de le faire, c'est vraiment, oui, avec du coaching, avec du mentorat, avec une façon de travailler avec les entrepreneurs pour vraiment les amener à optimiser et maximiser leur projet entrepreneurial. Donc, encore une fois, c'est un plaisir d'être avec vous aujourd'hui. Really happy to be here. And again, I wish you all great success in the next few years, few decades, and I would say in eternity, in leveraging this amazing initiative.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I would like to say that in listening to the presentation of BAIDS, as the CEO of FACE, I am so confident and comforted to know that Black entrepreneurs will get the necessary support to become faceable, as Michael Pinock so greatly coined it the other day. And the reason why that's important is because accompaniment. I worked for 16 years in social development for the Black community of Montreal. And the necessary accompaniment, the ability to adapt services to really reach and engage our community and ensure that they're connected to the right resources is clearly at the heart of this program that's been developed by the BPPA. We know that entrepreneurs need 4 things to be successful. They need access to capital. We're glad to do that at FACE. They need access to networks. They need access to mentors and sponsors, and they need access to processes. They need best practices. And what I've just mentioned, it is clear and evident that BAIDS has that built into the blueprint of this fantastic program. So I advise everyone that's listening, and if you know an entrepreneur, to ensure that if they are in the Ontario area, they need to go directly to the BBPA if they have an interest in developing, starting, scaling, and growing their business. And most importantly, we'll be glad to see them after that at FACE, and we will continue the accompaniment necessary. Also, I would be remiss, and because Nadine is a part of the board of directors, she would tap me right on these little fingers if I didn't say it. On this coming Monday, the Federation of African Canadian Economics will be having our first Face the Nation event. So we will be here to meet all of Black Canada to tell them everything that we have in store at the Federation to ensure that you are able to have access to not only the capital, but the resources that you need to have success to grow your business. So I really hope that you're all following us on our social medias. We also launched our podcast, TOC, The Other Canada. The first episode came out yesterday. There's so much to see and so much to know. And I can't wait to travel to Ontario to meet all of you at the BBPA in Ontario. So thank you for having me this evening, and continue with this great program.
Thank you very much, Tiffany. Now, the next person I'm going to introduce represents not just from local perspective, but from a national lens. And his name is Member of Parliament, Greg Fergus. So Greg has served as a parliamentary secretary to the president of the Treasury Board, as well as parliamentary secretary to the Minister of Digital Government. He's previously been the secretary of secretary to the Minister of Innovation, Science and Economic Development, and a member of the Standing Committee on Finance. Greg is involved within his community nationally. He encourages people to invest in themselves and causes that are important to them, and to work together to fight isolation and to create a new sense of community, and a community that not just is seen, but is also heard. It's why he organizes cafe croissant meetings, public forums, and other public events in the Hull Almer riding. In the House of Commons also, he's very active, and he's the Black voice to make sure that our community, again, is seen and heard. He's also been an unwavering stalwart for human rights from across the country, speaking for those who traditionally have not had a voice. In particular, he's also the chair of the Black Caucus in the Parliament of Canada. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you this evening, Mr. Greg Fergus. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening, Roderick. Thank you so much. That was a very too generous an introduction, and folks, just want to say congratulations. I have to tell you, over the last 5 years, or 6 years, coming up on 6 years of being a member of Parliament, and being chair of the Parliamentary Black Caucus, and being able to visit Black communities from one end of the country to the other, and seeing the vibrancy, seeing, I think, the age of Black enlightenment that's been happening across this country, seeing that we're not acting like crabs in a bucket anymore, we're supporting each other, and seeing how all of you have come out to not only support the BBPA, to support BAIDS, to support the Federation of African Canadian Economics. I just can't tell you how emotionally satisfying this feels. In my 51 years on this planet, I don't think I've ever seen a Black community as united as it is now, and working together to create prosperity, not only for ourselves, but for all Canadians, to be really a model for how we're to take our place in the world. I just wanted to thank Roderick and Tika. I want to thank Nadine, Michael, obviously, that was a Tiffany, Louis Edgar, Jean-François. Qu'est-ce que je peux dire ce que vous êtes en train de faire avec Face, et puis l'annonce qu'on va avoir la semaine prochaine, ça va être extraordinaire. Folks, this is going to be a real new age for all of us. Let's all work together. Let's all support each other. Let our sisters and our brothers' success be our successes, so that when it comes to our turn, we can call on our sisters and brothers to support us. I think with that, we will really change the face of this country. Alors, merci beaucoup. Bonne chance, bon succès. I'm really looking forward to all that we're going to be able to accomplish together, and to create a stronger, a more vibrant, and take our rightful place as a Black community in this country. Bravo, merci.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fergus. And thank you very much for all the work that you continue to do. And the next person that I'm going to introduce has defied stereotypes in several incidences. She is the vice president of the contact centers for RBC. She leads the national contact centers, including telephone banking, direct investing, and email chat teams. And that consists over 4,000 banking professionals providing customer service for them, advising and supporting businesses and personal clients across Canada and the US. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you now the Vice President of RBC Contact Centers, Harriet Thornhill. And Harriet has, again, began her career at RBC in Montreal over 35 years ago, and she has held progressively senior and executive roles in the head office and regional banking at RBC. Her responsibilities included financial planning, business banking, human resources, marketing, training, and leadership development. And prior to her current role, she was based in Trinidad and Tobago as head of the RBC Caribbean Markets Personal Banking, with responsibilities spanning across 19 countries. And as a member of the Caribbean Banking Operating Committee, she was responsible for setting up the overall strategic direction of RBC Financial in the Caribbean. And she's an active leader within her community and passionate about leadership and mentorship. She's also served on several boards focusing on youth and education. And she's the recipient of numerous community awards and recognition acknowledging her work in the community and professional achievements that she's done. So Harriet also holds an executive MBA from the University of Athabasca. So with all those accolades, it's now, again, my pleasure to introduce to you Harriet Thornhill. Good evening, Harriet.
Oh, she's on mute.
Harriet, you're on mute. Okay, I think Harriet's just on mute, so we're just gonna wait for her to take herself off of mute.
Yeah, she's having, it's her audio.
Okay. Well, I guess we can wait a couple more seconds for Harriet to see if we can get her on. Harriet, can you hear us?
Maybe I can tell my Harriet story. Harriet, shake your head up and can you hear us, Harriet? Can you hear us? Can I tell them my Harriet story in the meantime? About when I called you and you were in church?
She's there, Nadine. I think she's there now.
Harriet, I'm gonna tell my Harriet story. So if you know anything about me, you know that I do not stop. If it's in the 9th hour, I will continue to reach out to someone. There's no time that's too late. So we were about to go to press on the Harry Jerome book, and I needed to get in touch with RBC. So I called Harriet. It was Sunday. I called Harriet. She says, Nadine, I'm in church. I said, Harriet, you call me right after church. You pray for me and then call me after because I really need to talk to you. It was a Sunday on Family Day weekend. Who does that? But you know, when you're an entrepreneur, what I know is being an entrepreneur, Black woman entrepreneur, I have to take advantage of every opportunity. There's no, there's just moving forward, right? So I called her up and she was in church and she did pray for me because here we are. And we got it done, didn't we, Harriet?
Okay, she's on mute again. I definitely
There we go. I think we're going to be good now because I think we heard her before.
Yeah, we did hear her.
Yeah, so as long as you're on mute now, Harriet, you should be okay.
Yeah, if you could take yourself off mute, there you go.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect.
Oh my goodness. Well, Roderick, thanks for the introduction. And Nadine, I didn't know what else you were going to say, but you're such a trusted colleague and so respected by me. Thank you so much. And also to Tika, Michael, Tiffany, Louis Agar, Greg. It is honestly a privilege to be here. And I'm so excited, quite frankly, to participate in this critical inaugural event and to represent RBC. As of 2017, small businesses employed 8.3 million individuals in Canada, or 69% of the total private labor force. Small businesses are the largest private sector employees, and Black-owned and led small businesses are the minority within that number and face significant barriers, as you've heard from mostly everyone that spoke tonight. And that's why RBC took a leadership position on July 6th last year to help enable Black businesses as part of our commitment to addressing systemic racism. We have committed $100 million over 5 years in small business loans to Black entrepreneurs, and Futurepreneur program that was just launched is just one example. And as part of this commitment, we also established a program to bring business marketing, digital and technology experts, and community leaders together to share ideas and best practices. And while data on Black entrepreneurs in Canada is limited, we know there are 20,000 Black-owned businesses in Canada. Black-owned businesses are declining in growth more than any other group. And so we know that many Black business owners have not qualified for credit and running their business through their personal bank account. 20% of Black-owned businesses are likely to be assigned high risk more than any other racialized group. And Black entrepreneurs don't have access to experts in the same way as other entrepreneurs. As a result of our program is built on 3 pillars, and I'll just quickly mention them to address these gaps and barriers. Access to capital and access to experts and community engagement. To engage with the community through sponsorships and partnerships by recognizing and amplifying the successes of Black businesses and community leaders. That's why RBC had to step up to support the BAIDS program. BBPA's one-of-a-kind program for the Black business community is second to none, and we are so proud to be a part of it. Thanks to Nadine and the BBPA, it's a platform that will address lack of access to capital, information, and networks, just to mention a few. And with RBC support, BAIDS provides expert help to Black businesses without the resources and/or expertise to perform the services. We are very proud that Black professionals and experts deliver the program through a Black lens to best relate to Black entrepreneurs and professionals. The program's outcome for Black businesses is to achieve compliance with the rules, regulations, and legal framework of running and operating a business. It will have national reach and is open to all Black businesses, which is just incredible. This is game-changing. Black professionals and experts will deliver the program to best relate to Black entrepreneurs and professionals. It will cater to small and medium-scale businesses, single-owned or partnerships, family-owned or franchises, all Black business with the zeal to scale up and thrive what will have access to BAIDS and its resources. This is just incredible. So for example, at the end, they have a working industry standardized business plan and budget, and at least 50% of participants will have successfully completed a business loan application. So in addition, financial literacy, crucial to anyone's life and business, is an essential part of this program. And one can't really operate a business without financial literacy and wellness, and we're so pleased to be a part of this program. So I want to congratulate the BBPA. We stand with you, and we stand with all Black business owners to help them to succeed and to thrive and to excel. Thank you.
I guess I should unmute myself. Thank you very much for that, Harriet. And let's give her that virtual round of applause. Absolutely, for all the work that you do. And thank you very much for RBC in believing our community and in making such a great investment towards bettering our community in the future.
Certainly. And thank you for sharing those statistics, because I think it really contextualizes some of the challenges that our Black-owned businesses are facing. And if I could do a quick plug, this reminds me of some of the goals we're trying to achieve with our Saturday program as well, Roderick.
Absolutely.
In getting our community members to increase their financial literacy and to really start to think about how to become savvy as investors and savers. So there's a real synergy here, I think, between what we're trying to do with Black business owners and what we're trying to do with just Black individuals and families.
Absolutely. And it's a pleasure to be here at this point in time in history. So collectively across the country, we're able to do this community by community, but also working together to see our objectives and to reach our goals. And we would definitely move the needle. We have a saying that when ants get underneath a leaf, they all move that leaf to that place where they've all communicated, and it's done collectively. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. We're moving the needle forward, and wherever you are in terms of the map, but also in terms of your position as a community, we're able to move forward. So it's really a great opportunity for all of us to just move it forward.
Yes, and lots of credit to the BBPA, I think, for making productive use of the moment that we are in, and really being quite visionary in how we can impact the Black community coast to coast to coast. I think we keep emphasizing that this is a national program and not Toronto specific and not Ontario specific, really, really coast to coast to coast.
Yeah, and I'm elated to see that we've got the Francophone community represented well, and also some of the Western provinces sometimes that we don't hear from as much, that they're all here at the table also, so that again, we're collectively moving the needle forward. So it's an amazing time.
Yes,
Right.
thank you for that. And thank you to all our speakers so far. You know, your remarks have really shed light on just how fantastic this program is and how ambitious this program is. And we're moving on to the part of our program where we're going to hear about BAIDS participants and other folks who are have engaged and will continue to engage in the program. So we have two participants with us this evening, Tanya Sinclair of Black Human Resources Professionals of Canada, Inc., which is based in Toronto, and Judy Denny of Staff Locators, who is based in Thunder Bay, both here to share their experiences with the BAIDS program. Thank you to them both.
Welcome. So we'll have Tanya. Tanya, if you wanted to speak a little bit about your experience thus far.
Sure. So I would say that tonight is my first experience with the program, and already I think just even as I'm looking at the beautiful faces in front of me, I feel personally humbled and inspired, and I feel as though I'm in good hands. I started my business. It came across really as an idea. It's a not-for-profit organization. Started it last summer, and you know, I've kind of felt, you know, as I'm approaching this summer being a year, I've sort of felt that I don't know what I don't know. I've never been an entrepreneur before. I'm sort of struggling to figure out, you know, how do I take things to the next level? I'm doing many other things in addition to setting up this not-for-profit. And I thought to myself, when I saw the announcements, as a member of the Bbpa, and I kept seeing the emails about BAIDS, and I thought, let me read up on this. And it's funny because Nadine will remember this, that when I saw it, I thought, oh, it's probably not for me. You know, I started my business last year, and I'm perhaps a mature applicant. I thought it was really for a particular segment of an age segment of the population. So I sort of had opted out, just thinking it wouldn't be for me and that I would just have to continue on this path on my own. But I was so pleased. Bbpa answered me right away and said, no, it's for everybody. And yes, you can get the assistance that you need, the mentoring that you would like, the support that you feel you need to take your business to the next level. And literally, as I'm sitting here, I feel that I have a lot to learn. I'm going to be able to contribute to other individuals who are here in, you know, some of them may be further along on their journey, others maybe even before my journey. But the fact that we have this amazing collective, because really that African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. This to me is the perfect example of that. And I feel this is how we need to go further as members of the Black community. I, as a consumer, want to help out the businesses of my brothers and sisters, and I know that I will also receive help in return too. So I think this is amazing. I'm very thankful to all the supporters, RBC, Bbpa, everybody. This is amazing, and I'm just humbled to be part of this.
Thank you so much, Tanya. And Judy? You're on mute, Judy. Sorry, you're on mute. Okay, I think Judy's just trying to mute yourself.
All is good?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you. Welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you for welcoming me. As I mentioned, my name is Judy Kaipio, formerly Judy Denny. Thank the Bbpa for recognizing the needs of Black people. The support, as I see that, is growing. It's tremendous at this moment and also moving forward. The name of my company is Staff Locators Canada, Inc. Website, www.stafflocators.ca. We provide employment for job seekers throughout Canada and the US, companies coming into Canada looking for work, or employers throughout Canada seeking employees. My challenge has been for a very long time is the growth. We pay our people before we get paid, thus limiting the growth. Regardless, in 2019, we had 173% growth. COVID only damaged us a little less than 50%. Thanks for people like yourselves with encouragement. Also, Nadine Spencer, I have to say many thanks. I wish us all the best in the near future and that we can continue helping each others and others requiring help. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Judy, and thank you again, Tanya. We also have two service providers for the BAIDS program with us. And so please help me in welcoming Ryan Knight of Detailing Knights Canada, Inc., and Garcia Hansen Francis of Bbpa Pro Payroll Solutions.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we
so
can.
Garcia, just give us 1 second to spot you.
And while they're getting on here, if you haven't met Garcia yet, which I haven't, but I've actually seen her advertising on bus shelters and on the buses. So it's a pleasure to meet you. And it's also a great thing to see that Black businesses are having, that opportunity now to go out and to be seen and to be heard on that mainstream level. So kudos to yourself, and kudos to brother Ryan Knight also, who is no matter where, when, in terms of Black business, and whether it be virtual or in person, this brother personifies an entrepreneur and a proud Black businessman. So again, it's my pleasure to have you here with us this evening. How are you both?
Doing great, thank you.
Fantastic, glad to be here.
Excellent, excellent. So we'll hear from Garcia first. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing with Bbpa Pro or Bbpa Pro. Sorry, my problem.
Thank you. No, that's not a problem. Thank you so much. This is truly a great opportunity. I can't tell you how excited I am. When I joined the Bbpa, I started seeing results that I've never yet experienced. And to be part of this is just super amazing. I'm grateful to the Bbpa and Miss Nadine Spencer, because they have been such a great influence throughout this journey. And hearing about the BAIDS program is like super ecstatic about it, knowing that, Bbpa will provide a service to all clients requiring our service that will support and have like a shared community identity to help Black business owners get access to more payroll resources. Today we see like a lot of people are taking on payroll and they don't know where to start, the legislation behind it. And where we come in is to help the Black community, provide more education on the guidelines. And I find that will help eliminate a lot of challenges that Black entrepreneurs are facing to get started. So our role in this BAIDS program is really to help automate things, streamline, and just to take care of legislation and give information where it's due and help business owners become more successful and not be afraid to hire someone because they don't know how to pay or where to start. So this is where we come in, and we're just truly grateful for this opportunity. And we thank Bbpa and Ms. Nadine Spencer for allowing us to be part of it.
And thank you very much for the services that you do and the services that you will do for our community. And, you know, payroll is one of the things that often can be very confusing for entrepreneurs, especially starting out, not knowing if you're, you know, going to be contracting or you're going to be having actual staff. So I'm looking forward to hearing about all of the different ways that you could advise our community in terms of moving forward and having their businesses to even be more viable. So we're looking forward to your service, and thank you very much for being a part of it.
Thank you.
All right. And our brother, Ryan Knights. Ryan.
Hey, good to be here. Thank you, Roderick.
All right. Great to see you, my brother. How are you this evening?
Fantastic. Glad to be on and part of the launch. I guess I'm wearing a couple hats because with Detailing Nights, I actually just registered because I'm a business owner. COVID kicked my ass and we reduced our revenue by like 90%. So now seeing that this BBPA BAIDS program is here to support Black entrepreneurs, it's something that does not exist. There is no specific Black focused granting program. And during COVID, I really pivoted to helping more people with grant writing. And that's the service that we're going to be offering so that anybody that needs to get more funds to amplify their business, we work with a great team here at ACBN and with Empowered for X. But again, about BAIDS, we do grant writing sessions. And every time we do a session, we tell people, stop what you're doing, go to bbpa.org/BAIDS, BAIDS, and register. Get into the queue because, again, nothing like this exists. So I'm super excited. I'm actually pumped and getting goosebumps as I'm listening to everybody talk. And it was great to see Mr. Pinock really break down how the BAIDS program is going to work. And we're looking forward to not only being a user, I'm not only the president, but also a client. What they used to say? I'm gonna be a user of the BAIDS program and also here to support in any way that we can with the services that we have. So thank you again for
kudos to you, my brother. And for those people who don't know what ACBN, that acronym is, could you just explain it? Plug your business.
Hey, thanks. So ACBN stands for the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. We started about 4 years ago, really to be a resource hub to sit down with entrepreneurs to see what stage they're in and help them scale up. I used to start with just info session and networking events. We shifted a bit to capacity building because same thing when Nadine and the BBPA's report came out to say there were a lot of entrepreneurs not at a certain baseline. We realized that we have to get people's taxes done, people's not just their taxes, but get registered. There was a lot of initiatives that required you to have certain registration. So now being able to plug them into BAIDS. So before we would just say, hey, you need to get these things done. Now we can say, plug into BAIDS, get it done. And now we can plug you into other supports and funding that exist, namely the Black Entrepreneurship Fund that FACE is gonna be managing. So a lot of the steps and pieces are now in place. So no matter what stage an entrepreneur is in, we can say, this is the next step for you, whether it's BAIDS. This is the next step for you, whether it's FACE and the Black Entrepreneurship Fund. This is the next step for you. It could be the Black Opportunity Fund. There's a lot of different funds and things happening that we can now plug people into. And it's a beautiful time for the Black business community.
Thank you very much for all the things that you do and that you will do with the BAIDS program. We look forward to working with you, and I can speak for a lot of the businesses. They will definitely benefit from the service and your relentless approach in terms of pursuing excellence. So thank you very much, my brother.
Yes, and thank you again to Garcia as well. I know there are a lot more stakeholders that are providing services for the BAIDS program. So there is a lot going on to the entrepreneurs on the call. So please check out bbpa.org/BAIDS and share this information with those in your network as well. So just a reminder, if you have questions, and I think it's going to be mostly for Michael at this point, you can raise your virtual hand or post your question in the chat. We actually have 2 questions from before, Rod.
Okay.
And maybe we can bring up Michael as well. At least one of these questions is for him.
Okay. So the first question that we have is about the needs assessment form that will need to be completed to sign up for BAIDS. how do you suggest that people fill it out in terms of ideation stage, if that's where they are in their business? And is the form in depth in terms of, I guess, some of the answers that they may not know yet?
Okay, to answer that question, Roderick. So the mechanics right now is you think you need help through the BAIDS program, you go online and there's an application blank. There are 48 questions on that application blank, and it covers the management, the marketing, the operations, and the finance. And one of the questions is, what support you think you need, or supports. Sometimes it's many, it's bookkeeping, marketing, etc. So once you do that, then the assessment, we have assessors that will take those 48 touch points, and they will come back to you, and between you and the assessor, it will be fine-tuned down into a 2-page report. So you don't have to do anything in terms of filling out an assessment report. You just fill out the application, and the assessors will come to you, and together they'll use that information to create a profile, and together you'll make a recommendation as, okay, I need business planning and budgeting, or I need to get my taxes up to date for the last 3 years, etc.
Okay, great. And so the service providers, for instance, if somebody needed their taxes done after that assessment, would take that task on to help them get their taxes completed.
Right. So how it works is that you apply, it's assessed to get a better handle as to what you really need, what will move you forward, etc. And then once we agree on that, then we match you with a knowledge expert. So if you want accounting, you want bookkeeping to get done, then we match you with a CPA. If you want to get your website developed, we match you with a graphic designer. If you want to get the payroll, etc., we match you with Garcia.
Okay.
And then we follow through. We pay those folks. So they will provide the expert, as RBC, Harriet mentioned. The lack of expert is a challenge. So we will provide the experts. And it could be multiple function. You could come in and you need to bring your taxes up to date first, bring your books and records up to date first. Then we do a business plan for you. Then from that business plan, it suggests that you need to digitize. And so that is 3 different functions you require there. And we will provide those 3 different functions.
Excellent.
And get the content experts.
There's a raised hand. Cara Morgan.
Hi there, hold on. Hi, bike riding. So I filled out the application in, I think it was January or February. Will we have another chance to resubmit? Because now that I'm listening to what all the program is going to do, it seems a bit different than what I understood when I filled it out. It seemed like it would be like a one-on-one kind of situation, but now it sounds like it's like a full-blown thing. So would we have an opportunity to resubmit, or should we just leave it the way it is and somebody will contact us based on that? Because I can tell you right now that there's a few things I want to add.
Okay. Well, again, Cara, we have been going through stages with the development. So back in January, I think what we had there was a Google document. It was like the very, very initial stage of getting a feel and getting a pilot. Yeah. Since that time, we have actually created a robust portal to handle it. So the answer is yes, you can reapply, and we would have seen the original one, and we just take that one out.
Okay.
So you can reapply now where you can answer the 48 questions and really put in what you want to go there. But at the end of the day, an assessor will always call you. That's going to be part of the process. You'll always get the opportunity to have one-on-one discussion with the assessor to flesh out. Because the 48 questions, as best as they've been designed, there are going to be other things that they may need to find out. So you'll always have that opportunity to flesh out together with the assessors and agree on what is it you really require. And then it goes to the program providers.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, that's good because it was just the regular Google form, and like you said, there might be some things I don't know that I don't know, like that I could go back, get my taxes done back whenever, however far back. So that would be good.
Thank you so much, Cara, and good luck with the process. I just want to, maybe Michael, this is a reminder for you. This is my role. We have about 14 minutes left and a number of questions in the chat and hands raised. And we would like to get to everyone. So two questions for you, Michael, from the chat. Will any applications be denied, or are there scenarios under which applications may be denied for this?
Not the approach we're taking. One of the reasons for the assessment is to actually together understand where the business is at and where the business would like to go. And if you're not where, if your idea right now is not a feasible one, part of the assessment will identify that, and a proposal will be made as to how you can change that and go forward. So we don't perceive or conceive right now of declining a lot of application, more working with the person to redirect or to refocus that application. Probably what you're doing now is a hobby. It's a mom and pop stuff you do where you make a couple bottles of this or a couple bottles of that. You apply, but what you'll find is that once you go through that assessment, the recommendation will be made to how you can grow what you're doing and scale up what you're doing and what are the other services you may need. So I'm certain at the end of the day, there will be organization, businesses that will recommend that this is not for them, but I don't think it's going to be in the majority. You always have the one exception.
All right. So we've got a question from Dr. Justine Pierre. So if you could take yourself off of mute. Good evening. Oh, you took yourself. Yes. There you are.
Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone is hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, I want to say thank you very much for having an event like this, and I also want to thank Mr. Chris Alexander for inviting me. Yes. Funny, on Tuesday, someone from the Business Development Bank had called me, told me that about something like this occurred. We are a firm called Bbpa and Company Canada Limited. We are a research firm, but we are very much involved in data, the collection of data. So we have one of the largest database of the largest labor market database in the Caribbean region. So we collect data, tracer studies for about 22 countries. A lot of the international agencies use us to get data. So for example, let's say, for example, where Black people are, where ethnic people are, where Jamaicans are, how many Jamaicans or Grenadians are in the military or anywhere in North America, and we can find that data because we have we have maybe about 20-something terabytes of data. So a lot of the international agencies use our data. I want to ask, for example, we have been have been in business for about over 10 years. So I want to find, as a firm also, it's also very difficult to get loans and stuff from banks. So as a result, the Export Development Corporation, when we have external contracts, they will come and sort of provide support for us. But generally what we find is that the local banks would not, support us because obviously banks don't support black businesses. So I want to know what your agency or what your organization could do for someone like us who is not necessarily a startup, but it's a more business that is within a specific niche.
Great question.
So thanks, Doctor. As I listen to how you present your scenario, first of all, the answer is yes, we can help you. the BAIDS program is designed for where you're at. So you're suggesting that you're at a mature stage, but even at that stage, you're having difficulties in accessing loans and accessing support. So the FACE program, that one is where the loan fund is at. And we in the BAIDS program can certainly, you apply through the normal challenge that I just explained. You go on BAIDS, you apply, we sit down and assess with you. And we can certainly help you to position your business that when you apply to FACE, you will get the resources that you're seeking from other places now that you can't get. Because FACE also, an extension of what FACE does is that they'll be working with the financial institutions. So some of the loans they'll be given directly from their own coffers, right. But some of the loan will be preparing people like you, for example, to get the loans from the traditional banks. So there's definitely a place for you. Just need to apply and we will take it from there.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
And the other thing too,
yes,
what you'll find about the BAIDS program, because it's from Black by Black, you're also a program provider.
Yes.
Because you're in the business of having data that we need to work with. So you're coming in as an applicant that needs help. But at the same time, if we need data, we come to you to provide that data as well.
Right, you know, and it's very important because not many Black associations know of us. The international agencies know of us, maybe the UN, the IMF, World Bank, your CDBs and stuff like that, but very few Black organizations, because our firm can provide a lot of valuable assistance, you know, training, education, certification, where Black people are, what they do, all of that data, as long as you have as long as you're from a certain ethnic group. So we mainly focus on people from the Caribbean, but there are Black people anywhere. But I think that this is a very good avenue for Black business to come together to, you know.
Yeah, you apply to the program and you'll see the advertising as well. That is a byproduct. People know of you, businesses in Canada will know of you. So it goes both ways. You'll be advertising, you'll also advertise us. So as my good friend Roderick used to say, I still say, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Okay.
That is how it's gonna work.
And on that note, Dr. Pierre, perhaps you can just post your website or contact information in the chat if there are folks interested in contacting you after this. And thank you very much for your question. Michael.
And please do apply. Please do apply.
Yes.
Go on the BBPA and apply for the BAIDS support.
Yes, and we've been posting the program information in the chat where you can get that. So we'll keep posting if you've missed it. A few more questions for you here, Michael. Should a business have their business number before applying to the BAIDS program?
No, apply to the BAIDS program, and if part of what you need is business number, we help you to get that. That is exactly one of the goal, because we know a lot of businesses, especially those that, as Harriet mentioned, they do it from their personal bank account. They don't have a business number, and so can't apply for most of the normal stuff that other folks can apply for. But no, apply. I say to all of you, just apply as you are. We will meet you where you're at.
Okay.
So another question, if somebody has already applied, when can they expect to hear back?
Well, the getting back to folks was dependent on this launch.
Okay.
As I say, there's 43 persons in the up already. So a lot of things will happen fast right after today.
Okay.
And when are the applications available now then to be filled out?
Yeah, just go on the website and the applications have been there since I think the latter part of February or early March. Well, we're in a pilot where we're testing the interface and so on, but now we have the launch, we're ready to go live.
And we've put the link in the chat as well. The launch link is our partner, Chris from Z is here, Chris Alexander, and he's put the link in the chat. And if you could maybe put it again, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So please check the chat. Another question, and so sorry, there are several questions and we have 5 minutes, Michael, so I'm going to ask for a bit activity.
Yes, I'm going to be very sharp with it. Yep.
Thank you. Is the BAIDS program only for existing businesses, or can someone looking to start a business apply?
Every type of business, startup, sustain, grow, scale up. The BAIDS is for everything.
Right. And here's another question. Do you have to be a member of the BBPA in order to apply?
The answer is no, but we do encourage folks because we're a members organization. But the answer is no, you apply because you're Black, you're a small business and you need help. But we will talk with you once you get there and we'll encourage you to be a member. But membership is not a defining factor.
Okay.
Although, Roderick, this is your plug as membership coordinator.
Of course, you know that was coming next, 100%. We definitely,
I'm just going to leave that to Roderick.
100%, but we definitely do encourage you to apply to become a member of the BBPA. Yes. And this is just one of the services that obviously that the BBPA does provide, and your membership will go towards helping in obviously regards to having the services readily available to you, and also making it more robust so that we can do more promotion and marketing so that everybody and their, as they say, and their grandmother could hear what the BBPA is up to and the changes that we're making across the country in the Black community.
And it also build a community because we do send out newsletters and all sort of stuff, and it goes out to the members. So it helps build a community.
So I got another quick question here, Michael. Is there a limit to the number of businesses that will be accepted into the BAIDS program?
It's only limited to the extent that we can fund it.
Okay.
So right now we're working, we have RBC funding, we have HSBC funding, we have one of these funding, and we're currently waiting on the federal government to make a huge announcement. So the answer is no, it's only limited to our ability to fund the program.
Right. How can a company become a service provider, subject matter expert for the BAIDS program?
Just send a letter through to the BBPA. Mr. Mack, are you there? I think it's office at BBPA.
So
just send in a profile and then we'll get back to you.
Okay, so in the chat, a BBPA personnel will post both the web address for the program information and an email for those interested in becoming a service provider.
And the worst case, you can send it to the treasurer at BBP. If you know, I'll take it to the next level.
Fantastic.
And is there an age limit for the program? Somebody asked.
Oh yeah, it's about 500.
No, age limit.
I know, it's about 500. No, there's no age limit. There's no age limit.
As long as you're a business.
The young and the young at heart.
All right.
Methuselah is dead.
So 2 more questions for you, Michael, and then we'll close out. Can one individual apply more than once if they have different companies? So for example, a for-profit business and a non-profit enterprise?
Yes, because you're applying as business. What we'll certainly do is when we do the assessment, it would be nice if we assess both of them at the same time, because we'll be talking to the same person. But yes, you can put through multiple applications if it represents different business.
Okay. And someone did ask, will this program be similar to an incubator where businesses accepted into the program are encouraged to use each other's services? So is there sort of cross-promotion in the BAIDS program?
It's implicit in what we do. As we talk about the membership just now, that it builds the community. It's not an incubator program. It's a program that will build the capacity of the Black businesses as a business. But we would hope that it cross-pollinate, because I'm an accountant and I'm doing your books. So I'm paid as an accountant. I help you to scale up your business and you make profit. You sell a product and I buy the product and all this stuff. So I wouldn't define it as an incubator. It's not designed like with that label. It's designed for, as the doctor mentioned, I'm in business now, I'm having difficulty getting loans to scale up, or as staff locator mentioned, she has to pay money up front, so our working capital is always low. How can we do something to ensure that our working capital is higher So it's not an incubator where we're testing stuff. These folks have been tested and proven. What they need now is the help to scale them up. But it will have incubator type aspect to it because it's not insular.
Okay.
Great.
On that note, it is 7:30 and we're cognizant of your time and we respect that. Before we close up, I just wanted to say another thank you to the rest of the BBPA board. So our Vice President, Ross, Carmen, Miriam, Rustam, Penny, and Francis Saul, our ED, and obviously our President, Nadine Spencer, and obviously to you too, Michael Pinock, our treasurer. And in terms of your bio, it didn't also state the dedication and the commitment that you have given to the BBPA since you've been here with us, and also just your love for the Black community and seeing, and for humanity in itself, for seeing it going forward and taking the high road. So I just wanted to commend you personally for that, and it's a pleasure to work alongside you. So
and Roderick, I just want to and thank you as well, Roderick, for always being there. You know, in the ninth hour, you show up every single time. You're committed, you're dedicated, and you really put your community first. So
thank you very much for that.
And I do want to spotlight the board members. Victoria, our wonderful tech person, can we spotlight the board members? I think it's really important that we know who the people are who spend a lot of time and commitment. Carmen, I'm just spotlighting you. And so we have Carmen Hansen-Hoyt, we have Francis Del Sol. Francis, wave on to everybody. Our executive director, we have Ross Kadas, our vice president. Ross, there you are in your swanky shirt. And in Halifax, we have Miriam and we have Rustam and we have Penny. But you know, we're here to serve you. We're here in service to you, our members in our community. So at any time you can reach out. Michael says you can reach Treasurer at BBPA. You can reach me, President at BBPA. You can reach the Vice President. See, it's a slip. I said you can reach President, but I was going to say you can reach the Vice President, you know, because, you know, he's doing a lot of heavy lifting. Ross Kadas, Vice President at BBPA. It's all our names and then the URL. So it's Carmen, Secretary at BBPA. It's all the titles and then the URL. We're here to serve you. That is why we're here. So do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you so very much.
I just remind my president that the ED, sometimes we forget because it's a relatively new function for us, but the ED is keeping the middle together, you know? So when you can't get any of us, you get to the ED. In fact, you get to the ED sometime before you try. She's
really doing the heavy lifting. She's the one doing. So why don't we have the ED close us out? Go before Victoria takes over. Go ahead, Francis.
You're on mute there,
You're on mute. Just don't give any prizes away, Francis.
Yeah, you got to be prepared, my ED.
Everybody on this call is going to get a BAIDS. You get a BAIDS, you get a BAIDS. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to all the entrepreneurs and all the BBPA members and all the members of the general public who've joined us tonight on this auspicious occasion where we are changing the face of Black businesses and Black entrepreneurs in this country. It is game-changing, like Harriet said. It is mind-boggling, and it will make a difference, if not for you and me, definitely for our children and the next generation. I can only urge you to get membership in the BBPA because we are here for you, we serve you, and we care about you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Francis. And thank you to the board members of the BBPA and to the staff and volunteers for the work you're doing, you know, on behalf of the Black communities coast to coast to coast. To everyone who is here with us, thank you for joining the launch. I won't repeat Francis's great words, but you know, there are lots of things you could be doing this evening, but you're here with us. So thank you very much. We encourage you to join our programs. Please visit the bbpa.org to see the events and programs that the BBPA has on offer. The Saturday program is coming close, which is, you know, community space. We have an economics professor at Schulich who is going through the basics of economics and getting our businesses and personal lives together. So thank you very much again. Have a wonderful evening. Over to you, Victoria.